Okay, this is wild. Senator Ron Johnson invited Vani Hari, aka the Food Babe, to the American Health and Nutrition Forum in Washington, D.C. Vani Hari is going to really drop some really great nuggets and information about how we are being taken for a ride. Let's listen to this testimony and hear what she has to say.
During my investigations, I found an alarming discovery. We use over 10,000 food additives here in the United States, and in Europe, there's only 400 approved. In 2013, I discovered that Kraft was producing their famous mac and cheese in other countries without artificial dyes. They used yellow 5 and yellow 6 here. I was so outraged by this unethical practice that I decided to do something about it. I launched a petition asking Kraft to remove artificial dyes from their products here in the United States. And after 400,000 signatures and a trip to their headquarters, Kraft finally announced they would make the change. I also discovered Subway was selling sandwiches with a chemical called azodicarbonamide in their bread in other countries. This is the same chemical they use in yoga mats and shoe rubber. You know when you turn a yoga mat sideways and you see the evenly dispersed air bubbles? Well, they wanted to do the same thing in bread, so it would be the same exact product every time you went to a Subway. When the chemical is heated, studies show that it turns into a carcinogen. Not only is this ingredient banned in Europe and Australia, you get fined $450,000 if you caught using it in Singapore. If we were able to get, what's really interesting is when this chemical is heated, studies show that it turns into a carcinogen. But we were able to get Subway to remove azodicarbonamide from their bread in the United States after another successful petition. And as a bonus, there was a ripple effect, and almost every bread manufacturer in America followed suit.
That's great. That's great. That's great that, she was able to advocate and be able to do things to make a difference. And it shows that people can have a voice and there can be outcomes, because this is unacceptable. What these corporations, with these big corporations, these food industry behemoths are doing to us. And if we don't make a move and make a change, it's all over. It's a wrap.
For years, Starbucks didn't publish their ingredients for their coffee drinks. It was a mystery until I convinced a barista to show me the ingredients on the back of the bottles they were using to make menu items like their famous pumpkin spice lattes. I found out here in the United States, Starbucks was coloring their PSLs with caramel coloring level 4, an ingredient made from ammonia and linked to cancer, but using beta-carotene from carrots to color their drinks in the UK. After publishing an investigation and widespread media attention, Starbucks removed caramel coloring from all of their drinks in America and started publishing the ingredients for their entire menu. I want to make an important point here. Ordinary people who rallied for safer food, shared this information, and signed petitions were able to make these changes. We did this on our own. But isn't this something that the people in Washington, our elected politicians, should be doing?
I think it's definitely something our politicians should be doing. You hear me talk, I talk about policy. We need to really push our politicians, but we also have the power to not just buy the brand, not buy these foods, not go out and purchase things that are not good for us. Let's look at labels. Let's make sure we're not only holding politicians and companies accountable, we need to hold ourselves accountable. Many cases we can make our own coffee. We can buy the things, the same products, and get back to the way it used to be and start to make the food, start to move away from this ultra processed world and it relying on these industries to make us sick, because that's what we're doing. So we need to take action and accountability on our own, as well as hold those others as accountable. Because to be honest with you, we're not always going to be able to make our own coffee. We're not going to be able to make our own oat milk or almond milk or whatever it is, which has a lot of bad stuff in these prepackaged, containers. So for convenience, as the world is fast, we need to make sure we hold these organizations accountable and get rid of the toxins that are in our food supply, so that we cannot get sicker and we can get healthier, and our people, our families can actually live healthier lives.